Ladies and gentlemen, why do you think the president's decision to support Raila Odinga is causing jitters on Kenya Kwanza camp? To make us better understand the political scenario playing out now, let me bring to your attention that Uhuru Kenyatta caught William Samoei Ruto off guard. When the handshake happened, DP Ruto and the team were always clinging and sitting at the fence with a very good feeling that President is just playing games with Raila Odinga, and at the appropriate time, he is going to divorce Raila Odinga and he will support them. So President's choice to work with Raila Odinga to the end was not foreseen. This is not something that these leaders had foreseen. And the reason why I can tell you that it is causing jitters, Deputy President's strategy was one, to make sure that he still holds, to make sure that he propagates the Luo, Kikuyu, and Imo City. This acrimony is one that will still make him and help him enjoy the faulty tallying of numbers of the 2013 and 2017 voting bloc when him and Uhuru Kenyatta won the presidential ballot. So, but as time went by, you know, when the handshake first it was done, I think the goal in my own understanding was hidden from the public, and it was not seen as a political. It was not seen that it was something that would bring a political truce between the two gentlemen. So you could see Matengi could go to Kisii, and the other leaders could say the way it had brought peace. And they actually said that the budget that they used to run in the Office of the Interior had gone down because there were no more canisters they were buying, and the country was peaceful. But that is something that was only done. But the other side, or DP Ruto, could not see what is happening now. So let me tell you in this video, I want to explain for you where DP Ruto's strategy to Statehouse has failed. And I want us to make just few observations in this channel. Now, today I want to ask a little bit earlier, if you're watching this video and you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe and also click the notification bell and give this video a like so that when we release these videos, you will always receive the notification. There is something that happened in this country and it was not given the attention that was done. This was the failed border loyalty test. And when I was just trying to do my own critical thinking, I looked at it that this was one indication that Deputy President was frustrated. And let's look at it. William Ruto is the Deputy President of the country, and by the virtue of assuming office, taking oath of the President, he was supposed to defend the Constitution and the rule of law. So when he came out and went to public and told the borders that they needed to storm police stations and take their bicycles, take their motorcycles that had been confiscated there during the crackdown, it was taken lightly. It was not really captured. But remember, this was an act of a deputy president calling for lawlessness. And in my own understanding, this had this was a loyalty test. And it was a loyalty test that failed. And let me tell you, try to assume that this was Raila Odinga doing this in 2017, 4 months to general election. What would have happened? So if you ask that now, go back to William Ruto. Let me tell you, what DP Ruto was trying to do is to test the loyalty of his key voting demographic, borders. Now, part of his strategy to make sure that it destroys Uhuru and Raila chemistry was to fish for this faulty demographic, the border, the mama mbogas, warembo, I don't know, the hawkers, the butchermen and all that. This special demographic was packaged in a bit of some amorphous group known as hustlers. So what was this meant? That the Hustler Nation, group was a movement that was going to bypass the tribal inclinations and the suicidal supporters of those other politicians. But that failed. And that is why I'm telling you that it failed. So what the Ruto was trying with the border statement, he was testing how far can this my voting bloc go. And this is a president to 2000 to what can happen. Because if this one we are just in electioneering period and he's already telling borders to go and storm a police station, ask yourself, how did the police fail? How did they take it? These are people who are also supposed to protect deputy president. So that was an attempt to see the loyalty of that team and the fact that there is no one who came out, and there is even now a group of some 10 people who tried to even go to a police station, even to negotiate for their way, using that statement by deputy president speaks a lot that that group is faulty. He was simply trying to test the waters. If this could bring some sort of some lawlessness or an element of anarchy, then he would have already had a ground and say, look here, in August when I want to reject results, when I call such shots, it can cause mayhem. But that did not see the light of the day. And that is why I want to agree with Cleophas Malala that the only leader with suicidal supporters in this country is Raila Odinga. That failed border failed loyalty test shows how the DP has failed. 2, the deputy president is still staying in denial that Uhuru betrayed him. That betrayal, he's still staying in that denial. The reason I'm calling it denial is because he might have accepted that, look here, the president have betrayed me. But what hurts him most is the fact that that betrayal have benefited Raila Odinga, and not just Raila Odinga, his biggest political opponent in August 9th general election. So that is why some time back you could see there was an attempt. He tried to talk with the church elders to negotiate their way with the president, and Uhuru said no. And then the fact that Uhuru, I think he's been trying his own frantic efforts, even on personal level. These are things that might not be seen in public, but I believe that he can even make a call and ask the president, so shida ni nini? He do not end in the president so adamant that this is not going to happen. Now, that betrayal is causing a harm in his presidential campaign. And let me explain. Because he harbors the anger, he is finding it very difficult. It's a very difficult, daunting task to package his persuasion, his political message in anger. Because it looks more of an emotional appeal than the rational aspect in it. But then, this is how it harbors it. I have always mentioned that when you want to speak, you want to talk about Hustler Nation, like to just help you understand this, pick one of his rallies, especially when he is in central Kenya, And just William Ruto speaks between 15 to 25 minutes. Just listen to that speech. You will realize that people are only keen and interacting with him when he's talking about Raila, he's talking about Uhuru, he's talking about other people. But people do not get the enthusiasm when he is talking about the hustler thing or what he wants to do for Kenyans. That tells you that his supporters have already been gratified and they have got themselves in, the minds have already been set that the only thing that DP can say and they can listen to is the revenge language. Now, this anger have failed because he cannot balance between attacking the enemy and selling William Ruto's presidency. And I can assure you, up to now, I don't think William Ruto have told Kenyans what a William Ruto presidency would look like. I don't think I've spoken about the 6,000 pledge. And you can see the call for unity and all this. But the presidency of William Ruto, no one have seen. If you have an idea, make me know. Another indication that things are falling apart on his side is because he's looking or changing tact from political persuasion to cultural persuasion. Let me just use the most recent one is Moses Kuria. Moses Kuria have kept on insisting about that 1969 oath. And by the way, I have been doing my own research, and my research has been on, and in fact, I was keen. My question was, to what extent is Moses Kuria going to keep that narrative, or how is that conversation going to end? That's what I've been waiting for, and I've realized that now he has taken it a notch higher, explaining to people that instead of attacking me as Moses Kuria, ask yourself. Maybe probe that odd thing. Now, what I understand, and this is a call by DP Ruto. He actually appreciates what Moses Kuria is talking about, because Kuria does not talk about that oath when he is alone, but he simply talks about it when he is with William Ruto. He said it in Gatundu. He said it he spoke about it in Muranga. After that, he's been doing his own other small rallies. He doesn't say it when they're not with William Ruto. So I want to believe that maybe the narrative have changed because the political persuasion is not sailing through. He has gone to cultural persuasion, and according to him, this is one way to cut the line between that and that. For the first time, and of course I'm not shocked because it will be a record if you go to 9th August if this is not coming up. Now, lastly, the reason why this has happened is his initial voting bloc that he was targeting is non-responsive. Or my point here is non-responsive voting demographic. Non-responsive in this way. The Mama Mboga, the Boda, I think the butchery person, there was a list that was added there. Was it Juakali? There was another list that was added there. That group is non-responsive. Why? Take this from me. I know I wish I'm wrong. The most potent political voting bloc is the tribe. That is why you will be told that Kalonzo Musyoka has 1.8 million behind him. You will be told that Raila Odinga has 3 million in Nyanza. You will be told these numbers. The most potent voting bloc is the tribe. You cannot underestimate that. All these fellas, all this Boda and that is why when he was targeting that Boda, people were laughing. You're like, look here. When it comes to general elections, all these people were turned to the tribal mode. That is why that demographic has become non-responsive. He has changed from national party to working the small parties. That's why Ford Kenya, ANC, Chama cha Kazi, is it Kadwasili, all those parties are now going there. He is going that way because that group is non-responsive. Ladies and gentlemen, in my analysis, what I was checking here is why things have failed. And in my understanding, things are falling apart. That's my analysis.